Welcome to the Gammain Sports Ground for this round 11 clash between the Gammain Grong Matong under-15s and the North Wagga Saints under-15s. We've had a little bit of rain overnight, 5 mils, and it's a cold wintry day, the wind blowing from the south. And this clash today is Gammain sitting in second position and North Wagga sitting in fourth on the ladder in the Wagga District Football League. This will be a very, very good game of football, under-15s football. A few weeks ago, North Wagga was able to roll the top side Wagga Tigers, who previously before that had rolled Gammain's Grong Matong under-15. So anticipating a pretty close contest between these two sides. Earlier game there, it was under-11s, North Wagga 8-5-53 to Gammain Grong Matong 5-4-34, and that was third against fourth. Gammain sitting third on the ladder, and North Wagga sitting fourth. So North Wagga were victorious in that contest today. No under-13s today. North Wagga's 13s are playing Wagga Tigers, which have two teams in the under-13s this year. So it's a bye week for Gammain's under-13s. So this will be the last game of football for the day. The club, Gammain Grong Matong, are very excited to have three boys in the New South Wales state team. Boston McCree, Zach McPherson and Jed Corbett will be heading up to the Gold Coast in late July for 9 days of competition against the other states. And yes, to get three boys in the New South Wales state team from a club in the riverina like this is a very good effort. So congratulations to those boys. As Gammain come out onto the ground, this game is due to start at 11:30. Probably looking at a 2 or 3 goal wind. It's blustering up and down from the south. Umpire Drew Simons and Noah Hattie approach their way to the middle of the ground. Gammain Grong Matong under-15s, coached by senior premiership player Christian McPherson, and ably assisted by Matt Hattie. And their runner today is also premiership coach Daniel Rankin. The Lions had two players play yesterday in a match at Marnica Oval. Jed Corbett and Boston McCree travelled to Canberra to take on the Sydney Swans in an under-15s academy game, and the Giants were victorious in that game by a very small margin. Gammain's Jed Corbett will approach the centre to the umpires to toss the coin. Along with North Wagga's Kai Howard, who's captain for them today. North Wagga's call, and North Wagga win the toss, and they'll be kicking to the road end into that 3 or 4 goal breeze, and Gammain will kick to the dam end with the assistance of that breeze in the first quarter. So next week's game will be a big challenge for the young Lions. Sunday football, same-day football against the Wagga Tigers, whose under-15s were victorious over the Lions in round 3, I think it was. Coming off a victory against Colin Gully in their last game. Looks like pretty even numbers in both sides, with the Lions having 3 to the bench and 18 on the field. The Lions have got a squad of about 28 boys. And North Wagga have 18 players. So 18 on 18 on the field. Hayden Gardner will take the first ruck for the Lions against Jamal Thompson. As umpire Drew Simons holds this ball aloft and we're away. Hayden Gardner taps that down forward, but it's gathered by Ganmain through Cooper Higgins there, regathered by North Wagga. They kick that ball forward. Coming out to meet it is Boston McCree. Slips over. The ground's a little bit greasy after 5 mils of rain, and coming through there is Ashton Fury. He gets his handball away. We'll probably see the ball on the ground a bit today. He gets North Wagga get a kick away. Tries to break the tackle there. Their captain Kai Howard. It's a good tackle by Zach McPherson. He'll get to send this one forward for the Lions. He's got Hayden Gardner, who's pushed down, made space, and takes a nice mark across centre forward. He'll look to drive this in. Looking for Jed Corbett on the lead, and it's a good mark coming out from full forward. A good strong mark, and he'll go back with the assistance of Breeze and attempt to kick the first goal for the Lions. He's opted to pass, a quick pass to Zach McPherson in a lot closer position. He'll kick now from 20 metres out. Got this southerly breeze coming over his right shoulder. Generally a very, very good kick of the ball. Comes in on his way. And of course, like always, the commentator puts the Motsum on him, and it's out on the full. His father, Christian, will be giving him a ribbing about that first kick today. So, chance for the Lions here to hold this one in. Going to come wide, but sitting under this is Zach McPherson. Takes a mark, plays on quickly, chips it in forward, looking for Brock Harris over the back. He gathers, swings around on his right, kicks high, and it's out on the full. So North Wagga through Riley Hill to bring this ball back in. So 2 shots for the Lions in this first few minutes, and 2 out on the full. Need to get their radars on as the ball's kicked back in. Sitting under this is Zach McPherson. Almost takes an uncontested mark. Gives a handball away to Oscar Hattie. Hand passes on to Hayden Gardner. Gathered there by Chase Burgess. Back to Gardner. Gets his kick away. Gathered by Ashton Fury. He can get a hand pass to Cooper Hadrid. Back to Fury. He can run around. Does a banana kick towards goal. Dropped there by North Wagga, and Jed Corbett gathers and kicks the first goal for the Lions. Good pressure from the Lions there to retain that ball in the forward line. A chain of handballs, and first goal for the Lions. Ball thrown up again. Thompson for North Wagga wins this one, but gathered by Cooper Higgins, sends this one forward. Sitting under this is Chase Burgess. It goes over his head. Grabbed by Stockton for North Wagga. Gets his kick away. Goes through the legs of his North Wagga teammate. Gathered by Oscar Hattie. Kicks this one forward. Race for the ball there from Charlie Crow, but it's gathered by Campbell. Brody Campbell for the Saints. He kicks it forward there. Over the top of the ball is Matt Stockman. Gets a hand pass out to Cooper Higgins. He breaks one Swings around on his trusty left foot and comes wide. He's found Hayden Gardner in a lot of space on this wing. He plays on quickly. Looks for Nate Absalom. Ball goes over his head. Norfolk a hand pass back inside. A good pressure there from the Lions through Chase Burgess. Gets his kick away. Gathered by Hayden Gardner. He's wrapped up in a tackle there. Play on, says the umpire, and it'll be a ball up, I'd say. No, this ball's come free. As Norfolk gather, kick it forward. It evades Cooper Higgins as Howard gathers this for Norfolk, kicks it forward. Race the ball there from Boston McCree. He gathers, gets a hand pass to Cooper Higgins. Another one to Hayden Gardner, but it's out over the sword line, and it's a little bit high there, the tackle from Cooper Higgins, and it'll be a free kick to Norfolk's captain, Kyle Howard. He goes inside and finds Brody Campbell. Kicks it long into the forward line. Sitting under this is Boston McCree. Jumping high is Thompson for Norfolk. He can't hold the mark. Racing for the ball is Jack Lawrence. Thompson keeps it in front of him. Gathers it in. Swings around on his right. Good tackle by Fury. His kick goes forward, Thompson, but Sam Rankin cuts it off, but spills free there. Norfolk try and keep it in through Isles, but he's tackled and gathered there by Dylan Thompson, who's playing some good football, the young fella, the last few weeks, down at full back. So he kicks it out of defence, and it's gone wide to Zach McPherson. He kicks it forward. Good shepherd there by Cooper Hadrill, allows Blair Walsh to attempt to gather this one in as Norfolk can get numbers back. Ball's starting to slippery. Players finding it hard to gather it in. It's bottled up there in front of the scoreboard. Good pressure from the Lions. There's an errant kick from Norfolk. It comes straight into the hands of Oscar Hattie. He kicks forward there looking for Hayden Gardner, who's pushed forward from that ruck position. And Norfolk are wrapped up in a tackle there, and it's caught with the ball, and it's a free kick to Hayden Gardner. He'll go back and have a shot. He's about 35 metres out on a 20-degree angle. Distance shouldn't be a trouble him, but I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. He just pops it up to the square. It's gone over the back and straight into the arms of Chase Burgess, and he slots the Lions' second goal. Well done. He's having a good season as well, Chase Burgess, a good little player, and he was in the right position at the right time there, and it fell into his arms, and that's the second goal for the Lions. Back to the centre ground, Boston McCree and Thompson in the ruck. Ruck won by McCree, taps it forward into the path of Zach McPherson. He streams out of the centre, chips one short looking for Brock Harris, and he marks similar position to Hayden Gardner on that far side there. He's 20 metres, 20 angle, 20-degree angle, and he's about 35 metres out, but he'll probably put this up to the square. Kicks on its way, it's going deep. Under it is Cooper Higgins, and it's kicked out wide by Norfolker and out on the full. Blair Walsh will take this in the pocket. He looks to bring it inside. He's contemplating what's the best option. He's going to go back and kick around the corner. Kick's not too bad, but it's through for a behind.
What are you doing? Another day in paradise?
Get out of the wind, mate.
Yeah, go. Big stop. Stop. Okay, stop.
Where's Daddy's birthday?
Yeah, it's today.
Stockton to bring this back in for Norfolker, young Giants Academy player. He kicks this one long, but sitting under it is Chase Burgess. The sun gets in his eyes. It's gathered by Hayden Gardner. He tries to break the tackle, swings around once, gathered by Boston McCree inside to Tex Simons. Hand pass to Zach McPherson. His kick smothered, and Campbell clears the area for the Saints, but gathered by Jack Lawrence across the centre there. He kicks it forward. It's gathered by Howard there for Norfolker, who's prominent early there, captain. His kicks high, but under this is Zach McPherson, gathered by Fury for the Lions. He can't get his hand pass away. Lawrence that was. No, Levi Biaggia that was, and it's picked up by Hayden Gardner, but his head's been grabbed, but the umpire calls play on. he regathers, chips this one forward, races for the ball from Cooper Hadrill. He tries to keep it in front of himself. Pressure there from North Wagga. North Wagga opponent picks it up, gets a kick away, and Nate Absalom just tries to keep that one in, but it's gathered by Stockton there, and he's tackled hard and caught with the ball. And Blair Walsh will take the kick. He's going to send this long and high, looking for Jed Corbett. He's got the back position. He gathers, has a quick snap, but he's kicked it behind. That takes the Lions 2-2-14 in this first quarter. Be a little bit. They've had all the play in their forward line, and probably wish they were a little bit better than the scoreboard suggests. Riley Hill to bring this back in for the North Wagga Saints. He elects to come to the shed side, but the kick is close to the boundary line, and it's gone over the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in. Or in case in the under-15s, a throw-up. There's no boundary umpires in under-15, so umpire Noah Hattie will throw this up. Jed and Corbett in the ruck, taps it back into the path of Blair Walsh. He tries to come through, runs into Brock Harris. A quick clearing kick there by North Wagga, but it's gone out on the full, and Cooper Higgins will take the kick. He's going to have to kick this from 50, but he's probably going to set it up to the square. Sitting under this is Boston McCree. It's gone through his hands. It's gathered by Campbell, and the umpire's paid the mark over the back of the pack. Brody Campbell takes the mark, and he looks to clear this for the North Wagga Saints. He goes wide, looking for Thompson. Races to pick the ball up, gathers. Good tackle by Boston McCree. Umpire calls play on. Gathered by North Wagga on that far wing. They kick it forward through the hands of Jack Lawrence. North Wagga kick it off the ground, but it's gone straight into the hands of Zach McPherson. Chance for the Lions to switch here. Hayden Gardner's finding a lot of space in this first quarter. He takes a gratuitous bounce, gets tackled, and the umpire's deemed him caught with the ball. Good tackle there by his North Wagga opponent. In Maloney. He kicks one forward, looking for Campbell, but sitting in front of him is Chase Burgess. Takes a good mark on the wing. He elects to play on quickly. He's got to Cooper Higgins all on his own there, just shy of centre half forward. Got Jed Corbett leading out to the far side, and he takes a good mark. About 30 metres out from goal. Good lead and a good kick from Cooper Higgins. He'll go back and attempt to kick the Lions' third goal. Elects to go short. Blair Walsh is all unattended there in the pocket. He plays on and kicks a goal for the Lions, their third goal. Just a bit of sloppy manning up there from the North Wagga players. That's happened twice so far in this first quarter. Lions been able to chip one over to a player in a better position to have a closer shot on goal. So the Lions take a 3-2-20 lead to North Wagga's no score late in this first term. Back to the centre of the ground. It's McCree up against Thompson for North Wagga. McCree taps this forward. Coming out from centre half forward is Blair Walsh. Makes a tackle on his North Wagga opponent, but cutting off across half back there is Hayden Gardner. He's had a very good first quarter. He kicks long and low and finds Zach McPherson at centre half forward. Swings around looking for Jed Corbett on the lead, and he just judged that ball a little bit better than his North Wagga opponent, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal. He's about 30 metres out, straight in front. Comes in on his approach, gives himself plenty of time, kicks on its way, and the goal umpire doesn't move. And that's another one of the Lions. Jed Corbett's second for the quarter. So the Lions are using the ball well. They're starting to find their groove in this quarter. Finding space and linking up with chains of handballs there. They had a dominant first quarter against the Saints. Isles comes into the ruck for the Saints, up against Boston McCree. Both very tall players. McCree taps that down with his left to Levi Biagio, but North Wagga win possession. Cut off by Matt Stockman there at centre half back. Levi Biagio dodges around one, chips one forward. He's got Chase Burgess on that wing. The ball spills down, but following up is Hayden Gardner. His kick is smothered there across half back. Gathered by Blair Walsh, picked up by Zach McPherson, kicks this one forward, looking for Tex Simons, but it beats him out over the sideline in that far pocket, and it'll be a ball up. Jed Corbett in the ruck, taps that one down, regathers, pirouettes, gets a handball forward into the path of Tex Simons, but it's gathered there by North Wagga. No one can hold on to it, but it's a free kick to North Wagga there. Held without the ball, and they'll elect to bring this back in. Attempts to kick across goal, could be dangerous. Sitting under this is North Wagga, a teammate in Colleen, and he takes a mark. Looks to come back through the centre of the ground when North Wagga has numbers. There's a good mark there to Isles. He elects to come wide, looking for Thompson, but cutting off is Gardner. A good strong mark in front. Hand passes over the top to Zach McPherson. He sends this forward, looking for Brock Harris. Goes through his hands. And it's through for a behind. Stockton to bring this back in for the Saints. It's locked in the forward 50 for the Lions, but he goes wide to the scoreboard side. Gathered there by Hill. Gets his kick away, but sitting under this is Stockman at centre half back. Ever reliable, very strong back there, and he takes a good mark. Goes to come into the centre of the ground where the Lions have numbers, and is gathered by Zach McPherson. He kicks this one long and low through the hands of Cooper Higgins. Jed Corbett hand passes one on into the path of Cooper Hadrill. He tries to tow it off the ground and just catches his opponent high, and it's a free kick to North Wagga. Just a little bit sloppy, the Lions there with some of their tackling just late in this quarter, just to go a little bit lower and wrap them up. Coach Chris McCree talked about wrapping up your tackles, and North Wagga attempt to clear this out of defence, but they go straight down the throat of Boston McCree there at centre half forward for the Lions, and he's going to go back and have a shot. Siren must be imminent. Comes in on his approach. Kicks on its away. It's a lovely kick off the boot, and it's a great goal to Boston McCree to finish the quarter for the Lions. 5 goals, 3, 27 to North Wagga's no score. So the Lions were dominant in that first quarter. This second quarter, they'll be kicking into a 2 or 3 goal breeze, and they'll have to work hard to get a score on the board. So we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
Amazing service and carefully sourced homewares and furniture. Fisher and Farmer.
Coolaman Butchery, a great place to meet up. Yummy, yum, yum.
Okay, we return to the start of the second quarter here at Gammain Sports Ground for this under-15s match between Gammain Grongong Madong Lions and the North Wagga Saints. Just coming to the bench for the start of this quarter is Brock Harris, Levi Biagio and Chase Burgess. And taking the first ruck is Hayden Gardner and Isles for North Wagga. It was a good quarter for the Lions. 5-3-27 in that first quarter to North Wagga's no score, but North Wagga's got the assistance for a 3 or 4 goal lead. The ball's thrown high. Isles sits under this one, but it's tapped forward into the path of Tex Simons. He taps it forward. It's gathered by Campbell for the North Wagga Saints. He kicks it forward, but it's gathered by Stockman. Tries to get his kick away there. Missed kick though, but the ball spills free. Gathered by Jack Lawrence. He gets his kick away. Gathered by Campbell for North Wagga. He kicks one long, but sitting under this is Boston McCree. ever reliable there across centre half back, and he kicks wide as Tex Simon spreads quickly from the contest. Looks to kick along the sidelines, sitting under this is Zach McPherson. Almost takes the mark, dodges around one, gets a handball over the top to Oscar Hattie, back to McPherson, gets another one to Blair Walsh. Lions tending to over handball here a little bit too much. Get the ball on the boot and get it forward. As Stockton gets it a kick forward, but cutting it off there at centre half back is Boston McCree. He's kick smothered. Numbers here for the Lions. Zach McPherson picks it up, gathered by Nate Absalom. He taps it back to McCree there. His kicks high. Sitting under this is Blair Walsh. Campbell as well for North Wagga. No one can take the mark. And gathered by Stockton. Left foot kick forward again, but once again straight into the path of Boston McCree. He kicks a grubbing kick forward and it's spilt by Isles, and it comes back to Boston McCree. So it's just keeping off here between McCree and Stockton at the moment. And Zach McPherson gets this wide in front of the sheds. He's a grubbing kick forward. It doesn't hit its target. The ball's on the ground. North Wagga get first possession. They get a little handball away into the contest. Gathered by Oscar Hattie. Gets it going forward there. Numbers for the Lions. Hattie tries to kick it off the ground there. Nate Absalom tries to come through, but it's gathered by Howard there for North Wagga. But once again, they're reliable. Matt Stockman across the centre half back there takes a good mark in front of Thompson. Kicks his forward, looking for Higgins. It's gone over his head. Charlie Crow attempts to gather this in. He's grabbed hold of it. Gets his hand pass away. Ball's still in dispute there. Gathered by Higgins. He gets his hand pass out wide to Numbers there. Jack Lawrence tries to pick it up onto Hayden Gardner. He elects to kick around the corner with a check side banana kick, but it's across the face of goal and it's out over the sidelines. It'll be a ball up there deep in the pocket for the Lions. Jed Corbett to take this ruck against Howard for the Saints. No one really contests the ruck with Corbett. He taps it down into the path of Cooper Higgins there. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Good tackle there by North Wagga, and umpire Drew Simons will call for a ball up. That was young upfield there for North Wagga. Ball's thrown up. Jed Corbett taps it back to Cooper Higgins. A quick kick forward. It's hit the post. Minor score for the Lions. The first of this second quarter. North Wagga's captain, Kyle Howard, will bring this in. He's been everywhere for the Saints so far in this game, and he elects to go wide looking for Killen, and he marks on that far side in front of Gardner. Kicks along down to the wing. Sitting under this is Crow. The ball's on the ground there. Players diving on the ball, knocked forward by Crow into the path of Gardner, but umpire Drew Simons deems that he just threw that ball forward, and so Stockton will take the kick for North Wagga. Goes forward over the top of Isles through the hands of McCree, gathered by Stockman for the Lions, and good tackle there by Hayden Gardner. The umpire says, give it to me, we'll throw it up. On that far side wing, McCree up high, taps it down into the path of Lawrence. He wraps up his North Wagga opponent there. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by North Wagga, tries to break around Lawrence. He does so, kicks this one forward, looking for Thompson under. This is Stockman. Thompson leaps high, but it goes through his hands. Coming out from fullback is Dylan Thompson for the Lions, and he's wrapped up in a tackle.
I want them to go versus
And McCree in the ruck against Isles. McCree taps it forward into the path of Zach McPherson. He's got Nate Absalom all on his own here on the clubhouse side, and he takes a mark. He can play on if he wants it, he does so. Kicks it forward into the path of Tex Simons. He attempts to pick it up, kicks it off the ground, into the path of Cooper Hadwell. He's wrapped on a tackle, and the umpire deems to be caught. So it's a free kick to North Wagga. They've returned the ball high. Sitting under this is Lawrence. It's through the hands of Zach McPherson. Gathered by Campbell for North Wagga. Their first foray into the forward line, almost cut off by Stockman as bench comes in. Gathered by North Wagga there, and Sam Rankin right in the goal square cuts this one off. Good judgment. Goes wide and finds McCree. Lions can play on here. He finds McPherson. Zach gets one over the top as Boston McCree runs on. Back to McPherson, sharing the ball around here. Kicks long down the wing. Under this is Gardner. Punches it forward there. Ground very greasy. Tex Simons over the top of this one. Gets a hand pass out. Numbers there for the Lions, but it's gathered by North Wagga through Ingold. He gets his kick forward there. Stockman attempts the mark. It's spoiled by Thompson for the North Wagga Saints. And Howard kicks this one forward into the forward line. It's a race for the ball here by the Mottram for North Wagga, but gathered by Thompson there. Keeps the ball in front of him. Regathered by Mottram for North Wagga, and he's caught with the ball. Good tackle there by Ashton Fury, I think it is. Kicks one long and low, looking for Cooper Higgins. The ball eludes them. Over the top of the ball is Jack Lawrence. He's trying to pick it up. Good pressure there by North Wagga. It's on that far wing. Numbers around the ball there. Hand pass comes out, grabbed by Howard for North Wagga, and they get a kick forward. Under this is Thompson with front position. He can't mark. Good pressure from Stockman there. He gets a hand pass out to McPherson. Kicks this one forward, looking for Blair Walsh, but it's marked by the Saints across half back there by Mooney. He gets his kick away, but it's spilt there by North Wagga. The ball falls free. And it's just over the shoulder there to Charlie Crow, and he gets the kick. Plays on quickly into the path of Tex Simons. He dodges around one, dodges around two, sends this one forward high. Sitting under this is Cooper Hadrill. He can't take the mark. Grabbed by Cooper Graham. Has a shot on goal, but it's just drifted to the left. Jed Corbett runs around one, dodges two, and has a shot. And he's missed. Another behind to the Lions in this second term. He was almost in the goal square when he missed that one, but unfortunately didn't execute it, and it's a behind. As Jack Lawrence comes from the ground. Coming on will be Levi Baggio. So North Wagga to bring this back in. They've played on. Jed Corbett's tried to smother, but it's marked by Stockton for North Wagga on that far side. Kicks it forward, but a good overhead mark there by Blair Walsh from behind. He plays on quickly, looking for Zach McPherson, who's made space in that forward line. He can't hold the mark. Ball goes through his hands, and Stockton clears it there for North Wagga. Over the head of Vinay Dabson. Big Isles for North Wagga, races for the ball. He clutches that one in, swings around, goes back to the centre of the ground with his numbers for North Wagga. It's gone over their head. Ned Bench comes off that wing. He can't pick it up. Gathered by North Wagga there. Howard gathers. He looks to send this one forward. Gets a hand pass over there by North Wagga. The old 1-2 back to Howard. He can run into a goal here for the Saints, and that's their first of the second quarter. Good play there from North Wagga. Good chain of hands. And as I've said before, Howard's been everywhere in this contest so far, and he continued to back up his teammates and got North Wagga's first goal. So the Lions had the majority of the play in this the start of this second quarter, and just failed to register a goal. North Wagga will be desperately trying now to get themselves back into this game. They've got their first. They trail by 29 points as Brock Harris comes onto the ground. Cooper Hadra has a spell, and into the ruck is Boston McCree up against Isles. Umpire throws it high, McCree taps that down, but it's into the path of Campbell. He breaks clear of the centre and kicks this forward into the path of Stockman for the Lions. He tries to mark it, but it's dropped, picked up by Hattie. Oscar kicks his forward looking for Blair Walsh. He tries to gather it, he's tackled by Stockton. Tries to get his hand pass away, Stockton. The ball's on the ground, regathered. Kicks this one high. Sitting under this is Biagio Levi. Bounces over his head. It's a race for the ball here for North Wagga. Ned Bench is putting pressure on there. Gathered by North Wagga and kicks in field, but sitting there in the hole is Boston McCree and takes a good mark for the Lions. Playing that rucking role well, but unfortunately his kick's fallen short and it's gone straight into the path of Campbell. He plays on quickly, looking for Isles. He leaps high, and it's a falcon to Boston McCree. He's got him right on the nose in these cold conditions. And a kick by North Wagga goes through behind. It's got him right on the end of the snout. It's not real warm here today, that breeze. As Hayden Gardner looks to bring this in for the Lions. Say to be a bit watery in the eyes. Comes wide looking for Matt Stockman. He takes a good mark on the half-back flank. Plays on quickly. But it's gone down the throat of Riley Hill for the Saints. They look to push this one forward there Almost gathered by Hayden Gardner. And a free kick to North Wagga there. Didn't have possession as Boston McCree comes to the ground. He's got a bit of blood coming from that nose. North Wagga send this forward under. This is Stockman. It's a good mark to Howard again. He'll go back and he's played on quickly. And he has a running shot at goal and he kicks their second. Lions asleep on that occasion. A good comeback here by North Wagga halfway through this second quarter. So it's 5-5, 35 to 2-1, 13. The Saints dwindle a little bit away of that lead of the Lions. Hayden Gardner in the ruck up against Isles. Isles wins that tap through the hands of Oscar Hattie. Howard, who's been very prominent, attempts to clear out of the centre, but it's a good tackle by Ashton Fury there. And he's dropped the ball too, but anyway, the umpire says, there's your mark. Kicks this wide, looking for Levi Biaggi, looks to come back inside. Hand passes back to Cooper Higgins. Chips this one forward into the far pocket there and finds Chase Burgess. The Lions a long way from goal. Sends this one forward. He finds Ashton Fury with a good pass there across half forward. He looks to play on, but this has gone very low. It's on the ground there, gathered by North Wagga. They dodge around one. Kick this one high, and in front here is Biaggi for the Lions. He takes a good mark. Chips one short, looking for Burgess. It just eludes him, gathered by North Wagga, but there's numbers here for the Lions in the centre of the ground as they kick this one forward. It's a 4-on-1 here. And the one wins it through Thompson, gets a hand pass back to Howard. But he can't pick it up. It's in the centre of the ground. Gets one hand pass back. Kick smothered. Gathered by North Wagga there. Numbers for the Lions here. The umpire's calling it back. Deemed to be a sling tackle. And it'll come back to North Wagga there. Just shy of centre half forward. Lions need to pick up their men here. Ball's low and it's marked by Isles. It's centre half forward. He quickly plays on. Kicks on its way up into the square and it's bundled over the sideline, out of bounds. And it'll be a ball up in that forward pocket for North Wagga. Dylan Thompson in the ruck. Comes into the path of Howard again, I think it is, and that's his third. Lions will have to put a bit of pressure on him. That's his third for the quarter. He's lifted his side, the captain. So that takes North Wagga to 3-1-19. The Lions sit 5-5-35. Hayden Gardner in the ruck up against Isles. Umpire throws it up. Gardner taps this down, but it's gathered by Campbell there. Smothered by Gardner. Fury taps it on. No one can pick it up. Players on top of the ball there. It's gathered by Isles for North Wagga. He can't get his hand pass away. Gathered by Zach McPherson, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. Fury tries to gather the ball, but it's gathered by North Wagga there. They kick wide to that far side through Cooney. It's a race the ball there from Hayden Gardner. He's first to it. He kicks one forward, looking for Zach McPherson. He can get his hand pass forward, looking for Chase Burgess. He can't pick it up. Gathered by North Wagga there. They get a kick away, and it's over the sidelines, and it'll be out on the full. It's a free kick to Hayden Gardner. No, it's coming back to Charlie Crow, I think. He sends this one high. Sitting under this is Jed Corbett and Stockton. Spoiled there by Stockton. Gathered by Fury there. He can't pick it up. He gets a hand pass off the ground. Coming through is Stockton there. And he gets his kick forward into the centre of the ground there. Numbers for North Wagga. Gathered by Howard. Gets a hand pass back to his teammate. They go forward here. It's an open forward line. A race for the ball there by Mottram. Coming out from fullback is Thompson. One loose in the square for the Saints. All they need to get it over the top, but it's cut off here by Zach McPherson. He runs it out of defence, going wide, looking for Hayden Gardner. He uses his body to keep control under that ball. Gathers, kicks forward, looking for Cooper Higgins. He swings around on his left. He's got Jed Corbett there. He gathers, breaks the tackle, swings around, has a shot on goal, and he's put it through for the Lions. A much-needed goal late in this second term. The Lions have been under plenty of pressure, but they finally get that goal on the scoreboard to relieve a bit of score pressure as the Saints are coming. That'll take the Lions to 6-5-41. Take the Lions to 6-5-41 and the Saints 3-1-19 as the ball's thrown up. Hayden Gardner over the top, taps that one forward. Into the path of Zach McPherson. He clears it out of the centre, sends this long and low, looking for Burgess. It goes through his hands. Ball's on the ground there. Norfolk tried to clear this one, gathered by Blair Walsh. Gets a hand pass back to Ashton Fury. Gets around the umpire there, kicks this one forward. Coming out from full forward is Jed Corbett. Meets the ball strongly, but it's on the ground now. Gathered by Hayden Gardner. Chips this one over the top towards goal, and it's just eludes Brock Harrison through for a behind. And Howard, who's doing everything for the Saints, elects to kick this one in for him. Goes wide to that far side. He's got a good lead there by Campbell. He takes them, gathers the ball in, breaks around Hattie, kicks it forward. Looking for Colleen. He can't pick it up. Pressure there from the Lions. They've got numbers there. As the siren goes to end this second quarter. 6-7-42 for the Lions to 3-1-19. A little bit disappointed with their efforts in that second quarter. They had the majority of the play, and the Saints were able to put on 3 goals to 1 in that second term. So we'll have a bit of a break and we'll be back at the start of the third quarter.
For all your AG, vet chemicals, fertilizer and bulk fuel, go to Logan and Hitchens.
Ganmain and District Sports Club, a place to celebrate and much, much more.
Welcome back to the Ganmain Sports Ground. This start of the third quarter, this under-15s game between Ganmain, Grongong Madong and North Wagga Saints. As North Wagga come from the rooms. Very even. Well, North Wagga had the points in that second quarter. They outscored the Lions, so at this stage it's 1 quarter apiece, but the Lions hold a 23-point lead at half time, and they've got the assistance of this 3-goal breeze. But they'll still have to work hard. That won't do it for them on its own. They'll have to run this ball forward as Boston McCree's back on the ground after that knock to the nose, and he taps it forward into the path of Zach McPherson. To Chase Burgess gathers, handballs out of the centre there to Biagio, back to Hayden Gardner, but a good tackle there by North Wagga on young Burgess. And Stockton there will take the free kick. Comes wide, looking for Campbell, but it's cut off by Nate Absalom there. Numbers here for the Lions. Ball spills through there. They hot contested there at the moment as Zach McPherson tries to come through. And gathered there by Chase Burgess. He can swing it back around into the centre, but elects to dodge back down the sideline. He's got Cooper Higgins on the sideline, gathered by Jack Lawrence. Gets a hand pass on to Zach McPherson. Has a running shot at goal, puts it up to the square there, but it's spoiled by North Wagga, and it's through for a behind. The first score of this third quarter. Good pressure there by Chevy De Jong for North Wagga. And North Wagga bring this one back in. Looking for his teammate there at centre half back, Harper, and he takes a mark. Hand passes back to Howard, kicks forward looking for Thompson. Good pressure there by Matt Stockman. He gathers, gets it inside to Levi Biagio. He comes into the centre of the ground and it's marked by Hayden Gardner. Kicks one wide, looking for Jed Corbett. He leaps high and takes a mark there across centre half forward. He can chip one short in better position and it's marked by Cooper Higgins. He's about 35 metres out, straight in front. He'll have a southerly, westerly there, blowing over his left shoulder. Concentrates on this one, comes in on his approach. He's a left footer. Kicks this one high, it's looking very good. The umpire does not move and the Lions' first goal of the third quarter. Back to the centre of the ground. Boston McCree up against Isles for North Wagga. Umpire throws it high. McCree taps this down. Ball comes back to McCree. Gathered by Levi Badre. Hand pass over the top to Chase Burgess. He bursts out of the centre there. Sends this one forward long and low. Jed Corbett on lead. Just hits him on the toes. He can't gather it in. Gathered by Stockton. He's been very good back there in defence for the Saints today. Ball bounces into the hands of Harper. On to Howard there as the Saints push this one forward. Good pressure there by Ned Bench, but it's a mark to North Wagga. Front of the ball custom box, they go forward there. And also another good mark to Thompson there from North Wagga. They play on quickly here as Isles is pushed down from the ruck. The ball goes wide, a race for the ball there by Sam Rankin. Keeps the ball in front of him. Kicks this one clear. He's got Chase Burgess all on his own. Support there from Blair Walsh. Gets one back over the top to Burgess. He can run on through the centre there. Kicks this one low, but he finds Stockton. It's been very strong across half back there for North Wagga. His kick goes long and low into the centre of the ground towards Hayden Gardner, but he overruns the ball, gathered by Harper there. He's got Isles all on his own at centre half forward there, and he takes the mark. Howard positions himself out from goal, and he takes the mark. The Lions slow to react again there with Howard. We've got to be aware of him pushing into the forward line there, and he's not going to line up for his fourth goal here early in this third term. He's not overly confident that he can make the distance. Goes short. Under this is Burgess, but it's a good mark to Campbell there. Too strong. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal. About 30 metres out, straight in front. Kicks on its way, looking good. The wind's just caught it and drifted to the left. It's through from behind for the Saints. Their first score of the third quarter. Zach McPherson to bring it back in for the Lions. Players spread out across the 50. No one on the mark in the square, and he elects to play on here, running out of defence. Likes to kick this long and high to the wing. It's a nice kick, looking for Chase Burgess over the top. He can run onto this one. Gathers it in there, can take a bounce if he likes. But the umpire's deemed he's just gone too far. He's just in two minds there, whether to bounce or run a bit further, and umpire Drew Simons deemed he ran more than the required 15. So it's a free kick to Stockton there. Across half back for North Wagga. He elects to go up the centre of the ground through the hands of Levi Biagio. Isles tries to gather that in. He can't pick it up. Gathered by Boston McCree. Gets one out the back to Jack Lawrence, that is. But he's manhandled. He's trying to pick the ball up there, and it'll be a free kick to Jack Lawrence. Umpire calling it back. Plays on quick. Hand pass to Boston McCree. He's got to get his kick away there. Pressure from behind there by Thompson. Ball turned over there. Howard has this one. He hand passes wide to Colleen. He keeps this one up. forward there. Thompson under this. Pressure from Stockton. Stockman, that is, back to McCree. Gathers again by Stockman, kicks this one forward. Sitting under this is Jed Corbett. He takes a good mark at centre half forward. Looks to play on quickly here as numbers flow back to the forward line. No one in the square now, so he kicks one forward, but it's off the side of the boot and a miss kick and through for a behind. Just a little bit of indecision there in the forward line from the Lions. As Stockton for Saints bring this back in. He elects to go to the far scoreboard side. It's a race for the ball here with Charlie Crow. He's got 10 metres on his opponent, but he overruns the ball there. Pressure from North Wagga, but regathered by Charlie Crow. He kicks this one high, looking for Blair Walsh, but it's out over the sideline, and the umpire will throw it in or ball it up just on that 50-metre line in the Lions forward line. Hayden Garner, Boston McCree to take the ruck. Taps this one down, gathered by Cooper Higgins, comes back on that trusty left, sends this one in long and high, looking for Tex Simons. But it's a good mark there by North Wagga, deep in defence. Plays on quickly, but it's cut off by Nate Absalom there. He takes a mark, he's about 45 metres out from goal. Plays on quickly, looking for Blair Walsh, puts it inside. And unfortunately, the North Wagga player there's crashed into a Gammain player there. It was unintentional, and it'll be a free kick to Chase Burgess. And he's about 25 metres out from goal. Seems to have regained his feet after that knock, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal. Comes in on his approach. Distance shouldn't be a worry. Runs around slightly. It's gone low and through the hands of Jed Corbett on the line there, and it's through from behind. Another behind for the Lions. As Stockton looks to bring this back in for the Saints. As Chase Burgess comes from the field. The trainers will have a look at him, check him out. As Campbell marks this on the boundary line in front of Zach McPherson. The Lions are getting numbers back now as he looks to bring it inside, but Blair Walsh flies high and takes a juggling mark there across half forward. He looks to play on. He's got Jed Corbett on a lead there. Numbers back for North Wagga, and it's a good mark to Stockton. Judged it the better and marks it 20 metres out from goal. He plays on quickly, goes wide. Looking for Hill. He gathers it in. Swings around, comes back inside there. He's got Harper under this one. Goes through his hands as Isles as well. Tex Simons tries to tow it off the ground. It comes into the path of Howard. Comes wide. Looking for his teammate there in Maloney. And he takes a mark across half back there for the Saints and just holds it up. Next to come wide, looking for Campbell, who's on a lead there. Marks in front of Cooper Hadrill. In front of the North Wagga Saints interchange. Looks to come down the boundary line there. Grabbed by Harper. Sends this one forward there. Under the ball is Ned Bench. Dylan Thompson puts pressure on his opponent Mottram. Picks the ball up. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills through there. Gathered by Cooper Higgins. Number for the Lions there. He kicks it back out of defence and finds Zach McPherson on the wing. He can chip one over the top there and finds Oscar Hattie, but it's through his hands. Pressure there from the Saints. He regathers, gets his hand pass on to Tex Simons. He breaks one tackle, kicks this one forward into the path of Jed Corbett. And it's a floating kick, and he's marked it on his chest. He elects to play on there, and he finds an Oscar Hattie who's followed that one down. And he elects to play on unmanned, swings around and slots a goal through for the Lions. Well done by Oscar Hattie. Continued to stay in that contest. And ran down and got on the end of that mark of Jed Corbett's. Played on and kicked the Lions' second goal for the quarter. That takes them on to 9 goals, 9, 63 to 3 goals, 2, 21. Or 20, sorry. So the Lions have registered 2 goals in this third term. Umpire Noah Hattie throws it up. Hayden Gardner taps it once and taps it again to himself. Pushes on. Tex Simon comes in. Toe pokes it forward. Gardner gains a better position, but it's good pressure there by Blair Walsh. He runs towards goal with this one, and it's hit the post. Struck the goal post low on the ground. Another behind of the Lions. Pressuring these goals here late in this third term as Howard looks to bring this one in. Marcus spilt there by North Wagga in Colleen. Lions gather there by Howard Gardner, and he swings on his left, and he's missed as well. Probably needs a little bit more talk from his teammates there. He had plenty of time. The Lions are making it very difficult here for the Saints to get this ball out of their defence. As Howard looks to bring this ball back in. Next to come to the clubhouse side. Kicks this one high, but it's a good strung mark from Zach McPherson. Really wrapped his mitts around that one. And he's about 45 metres. He's going to have to kick from 50. But I think he looks like going to put this one up to the top of the square. Which he does. But it's gone a little bit further than the top of the square, and it's cleared the hands, and it's through for a goal. Good kick by Zach McPherson. That's the Lions' third of the quarter. So the Lions kick 3 in the first, 1 in the second. Well, sorry, 5 in the. It was 5 in the first, 1 in the second, and 3 in this third. But Gardner wins the tap there, down into the path of Biagio. Racing for the ball there is Cooper Higgins. He gets his kick forward there. It's through the hands of players, gathered by McPherson. Gets a hand pass to Tex Simons. He kicks this one high, sitting under his Germain there, and Jed Corbett takes a strong mark deep in the square. Elects to play on, comes inside and finds Blair Walsh all on his own. Straight in front. He's about 15 metres out from goal. He'd be hoping to execute this one a little bit better than his last kick, give it a little bit more air. Kick through that ball. Put it straight over the goal umpire's head. Which he does, and the Lions record another goal. That's Blair Walsh's second for the game. The Lions starting to put a bit of a gap in the Saints. They've been gallant so far. They'll have the assistance of the breeze in that last quarter, but they need to hold the Lions out for the remaining of this quarter and even try and get a goal or two themselves. Tried very hard. It's Isles and Gardner in the ruck. Gardner wins that tap. Down into the path of Lawrence. On to Gardner. Follows that one up. Kicks this high, but it's gone over the head. It's through the hands of North Wagga there as Brock Harris tries to tow this one through, and it's through from behind. Just eluded the outstretched boot of Cooper Graham there. So Riley Hill to bring this back in for the North Wagga Saints. He elects to go wide looking for Campbell. He takes a good mark in front of Stockman for the Lions. Elects to play on. Finds Stockton from North Wagga. He's been good today. Cross half back for the Saints. Kicks this one high. Sitting under this is the Lions in Ferry. He can't pick it up. North Wagga have numbers there, keeping this ball moving forward as Ned Bench tries to pick it up. Thompson for the Saints, toes this forward. It's a race to the ball by Sam Rankin. He tries to pick it up. Ball's on the ground there. Thompson comes through. Lions scrambling to try and keep this one out, but Thompson has the cleaner hands and gathers that one in and records the first goal of the third quarter for the Saints. Lions attack of the fumbles there, just needed to control that one. They had the numbers, but persistence there from Thompson in the end resulted in a goal off the ground. We come back to the centre. As the siren goes to end this third term, the Lions go on to 11-11-77 to the Saints, 5 goals, 2-32. And it's 4 goals to 1 in that third term for the Saints. For the Lions, they'd be disappointed with that late goal in that third quarter. They'll be looking now to finish this game off. We've got a big game next week against the Wagga Tigers. They'll be looking to play 4 quarters, so we'll have a break and return the start of the 4th quarter.
Ganmain Bakery and the famous Ganmain pies. If you can bake it, we make it.
Ganmain News Agency, open 7 days. Lotto newspapers, the list keeps going.
Okay, welcome back for the start of this 4th quarter as Boston McCree jumps high to punch this ball forward, gathered by Zach McPherson. Sends this one forward, and on a strong lead out from full forward there is Brock Harris. He takes this mark. He's about 45 metres out from goal. He's going to have to kick this from 50. He'll elect to set it up in the square there. Kicks on its way. Sitting under this is Jed Corbett. He leaps high and takes a good mark. He's too tall on that occasion. Reached for the sky and took a strong mark. He'll go back and attempt to kick his 4th. The start of this 4th quarter. Skies become gloomy again. It's a real wintry day here at the Ganmain Sports Ground. Corbett comes in on his approach and kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head, and that's first goal of the 4th quarter to the Lions. Takes Jed Corbett on to 4 goals for the game. Boston McCree in the ruck up against Isles. The Lions have probably won the taps, but there's been a lot of pressure from North Wagga to clear that ball out of the centre as this kick comes forward from McCree and falls into the arms of Stockton there. He likes to go wide. It's a race to the ball here by Levi Baggio. Pressure there from Mottram, who gains front position. The ball's close to the boundary line there in front of the scoreboard, and umpire calls for a ball up. It's not coming free, and Hayden Gardner to take the ruck up against Harper. No one wins that one decisively. Comes down into the path of Fury. He's pushed forward there and he attempts to pick it up. The umpire calls it back. Free kick to Ashton Fury there on that far side. Kicks this one low, looking for for Chase Burgess there.
Oh, nice one.
Tries to pick it up there. Ball's gathered by North Wagga, comes back to Fury there. He can't hold the mark as Levi Biagio's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire, Noah Hattie, will call for a ball up. Boston McCree taps this back into the arms of Hayden Gardner. Sends this one forward, long and low, and finds Chase Burgess. He runs on. Chase kicks it over the top into his path. He can run onto this one though. It was pressure from Howard from North Wagga there as Gardner dives on that ball. The umpire calls to play on. Comes back into his arms, and umpire Drew Simons calls for a ball up just shy of the Lions' half-forward flank. Ball's thrown up. Both ruckmen fall short of that one. Ball's on the ground. It comes back towards Howard for North Wagga, gathered by Oscar Hattie. He can't get his hand pass away. Gathered again by Howard for North Wagga. He kicks this one high. Sitting under us is Stockton and Thompson. Thompson keeps his feet. Coming across to meet it is Crow for the Lions. Gathered by Stockman there. Tries to clear it out. It's punched back to the forward line by the Saints. And running out of fence is Dylan Thompson. And he's tackled late. The umpire calls play on here. It's Zach McPherson's got acres of room in front of him here. He can run it down the wing. Kicks one over the top looking for his cousin Cooper. Just falls short. He gathers. Swings around on that trusty left foot. Can send this in looking for Jed Corbett there. Coming across is Hayden Gardner. He can't take the mark. It's gathered by North Wagga. They look to come back through the centre of the ground looking for Howard. Goes through his hands. Grabbed by Sam Rankin. He sends this one back in forward for the Lions. But Stockton for North Wagga take that. He attempts to clear this one out. They got numbers over the back. North Wagga as they're tackled. And the ball spills free. And Boston McCree's wrapped up in a strong tackle by Isles. And umpire Noel Hattie will ball it up across half forward there for the Saints. McCree taps it back to Zach McPherson. He gathers this one in. Can kick wide around the corner looking for Hayden Gardner. He's been everywhere today and he takes a mark in front of the sheds. Elects to play on. He's got Ashton Fury all on his own in the middle of the ground, but the ball's gone over his head. He's got space to pick this up. He's charging towards goal. Gets a hand pass off to Blair Walsh. He has to dodge around one. Hand pass back forward there. The ball's on the ground there. Picked up by Jed Corbett. He's tackled. Can't get his hand pass away and the umpire's going to call for a ball up there at 30 metres out from the Lions' goal, right in front. This game stepped up a pace or two in the last 5 minutes as Corbett taps that down into the path of Blair Walsh. He dives in on the ball, gets his hand pass away there. North Wagga scramble to try and pick this up. They're trying to clear it, trying to get boot to ball, and it's not going anywhere at the moment. Comes out the back to Jed Corbett. He's tackled again, gets his hand pass away onto Cooper Higgins. He swings around on that trusty left, has a shot at goal, but it's gone across the face of goal and through from behind. Riley Hill to kick this back in for the Saints. He elects to go wide here, looking for his North Wagga teammate in De Jong. He gathers this on the sidelines there, kicks this one high back to the centre of the ground, and it's a good mark to Stockton there for the Saints. Out reaching arms, he's got Howard free on that far wing and elects to go that way. He puts it out in front of him where he can run onto it. Chase here by Sam Rankin, puts pressure on, but Walsh kicks this one over the top. And his North Wagga teammate can run onto this one, sends it inside. Dylan Thompson's there, drops the mark, but gets his kick away back inside there. Pressure from North Wagga there. Play on, says the umpire, as North Wagga hand pass one over the top. Charlie Crow tries to pick that one up. He's bumped off the ball. It comes out the back towards the Lions there. Pressure from Stockton and Rankin. And the ball's towed forward there by North Wagga. Deep into the pocket, gathered by Dylan Thompson for the Lions. Hand passes to Boston McCree in the square, and he kicks it back out this side in front of Zach McPherson. He gathers. He can run on here. He's got pressure from Brodie Campbell. Has to halt and elects to kick it into the path of Chase Burgess. He gets his kick away, looking for Blair Walsh. Good movement here by the Lions. On to Cooper Higgins. Kicks this one long and low into the path of Jed Corbett. He's got Brock Harris on his own in the square. Cooper Higgins can run on. Looking for Brock Harris. He slips, almost marks. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The ball spills free. Cooper Graham comes in, applies pressure to North Wagga. They attempt to run this out. It's a good tackle by Cooper Higgins. He runs his North Wagga opponent down free and held her, and it'll be a shot on goal for Cooper Higgins. Good pressure from the Lions. They'd be pleased with that ball movement from defence. Next to play on quickly, he's got Jed Corbett on his own and finds him 25 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle. That's been the scenario a few times today from both sides, leaving dangerous forwards unattended in the forward line. Always watch that ball. Don't turn your back on it. As Jed Corbett comes in, and he's kicked it low, but over the goal umpire's head, and that'll be his 5th goal of the game. Golden rule, always watch that ball, no matter where it is on the ground. Back to the centre. Lions, Boston McCree in the ruck up against Isles. Taps it down in the path of Zach McPherson, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. Hand passes over the head to McCree, coming through as Hattie. He tries to tow it off the ground, but he regathers here. Kicks it around the corner. He's got Chase Burgess in front position here. He can gather it in. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills through there. Picked up by Harper for the Saints. Comes back into the centre of the ground there. They elect to clear the ball and finds Campbell on the wing here for the Saints. Goes inside, finds Howard, who's been very good captain of the Saints today. Just holds it up there. Can send this one in long and low. It's gone over the top, and that's good mark there to North Wagga. I haven't got that young fella's number on me list, but yeah, no, it fell into his arms. And he'll go back and have a shot. He's about 30 metres out, straight in front. Comes in on his approach, left footer. It's a wobbling kick forward, and Boston McCree punches it through the behinds, and North Wagga register a point. Now McCree, no one on the mark. He can run out of defence and elects to go straight up the ground, looking for Chase Burgess. He tries to gather this one in. Pressure from his North Wagga opponent there. In Hill. But it's kicked forward there by Stockman into the path of Hayden Gardner. He's got a heap of room in front of him, but there's pressure coming from behind by Stockton. Good vision there, chips this forward. Jed Corbett almost marked there. Good pressure by Fuhlhelder. Ball's on the ground there. Nate Absalom gets a hand pass out the back to Hayden Gardner, kicks this one forward. Harper almost marks. Regathering quickly is Zach McPherson. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire's calling for a ball up. Corbett and Harper in the ruck. Taps that back to McPherson. He was unmanned there at the back of the contest, but tries to kick it on his left and just drifts to the left of the goalpost. Very dangerous player to leave unattended there in the forward line of the ruck contest. As Howard brings this one back in, looking for Brodie Campbell. He gathers this one in, runs around one. Runs out of defence, sends this high looking for Mottram, but across half back there is Boston McCree. Mottram does well. It's a 1-on-3 here, but support there from his teammate. The ball's bottled up there on the wing, and umpire Noah Hattie's pulled one there. It's going to young Mottram. Over the shoulder. Sends this one wide, and there's that man again. No, that's not Howard on that occasion. That's Colleen marks that one, and Thompson has a running shot at goal, and it's another late goal to the Saints through Thompson. About 11 minutes gone in this last term. The Lions have found it very hard today to put the Saints away. They keep coming. Credit to the young fellas. They keep applying the pressure, and very dangerous when they get it up forward. Back to the centre of the ground. Hayden Gardner and Isles for North Wagga. Score 12-13-85 to 5-3-33. Ball's tapped over the back to Levi Biagio. Pressure there by the Saints. They look to push this one forward. Gathered by Biagio again. Tries to break around one tackle. And umpire Drew Simons calls for a ball up. McCree and Isles in the ruck. Neither decisive then. It's gathered by Biagio onto Cooper Higgins. He breaks one tackle. Attempts to run clear. Gets his hand pass away there. Ball's on the ground, he follows up there, tries to break another tackle, but umpire Drew Simon said you had prior, and it'll be a free kick to Howard. He can come wide, looking for Colleen there for the Saints. He looks to send this in long and low. Almost marked there by the Saints. Good tackle by McCree, and the umpire's deemed caught with the ball. That was young White, Campbell White. Boston McCree plays on quickly as Hayden Gardner Races to gather this in. He's pressured by Isles there. Looks to come back inside, but it's numbers there for North Wagga. Lions players overrun the ball. It's gathered by Colleen. Stockton dodges around one, gets his kick away. McCree keeps this one in front there, but pressure by Campbell. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire's deemed he's caught with the ball. Good tackle by Campbell there for the Saints. Kicks this one high, looking for Howard there. He's got front position. It's good spoil by Higgins there, but gathered by North Wagga there in young Maloney, and he kicks truly. Another late goal for the Saints. Takes them on to 6-3-39 to the Lions, 12-13-85. They've been very competitive with the breeze today, the Saints. Lions need to finish this game off. Got a big one next week against the Tigers. Ball thrown high. Isles wins his tap. Down to Harper. Back to Isles. Gets his kick forward. Front position there to North Wagga, but it's gone over the back to Jack Lawrence. He tries to break one tackle. Gathered by Biagio. Gets a hand pass out to Sam Reckon. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Hand passes away. The ball's on the ground there. Players diving in on this one. Cooper Higgins tries to pick it up. Tries to break another tackle. Gets his hand pass away. Cooper Hadrill races for that one. Tries to pick it up. Gathered by Rankin. Gets his hand pass away there. Campbell for the Saints picks it up. He breaks clear. His kick smothered into the path of Crow there. He gathers, gets this one forward to Nate Absalom. He can run onto this one across half forward there for the Lions. Tries to get his hand pass away. It's smothered by the Saints and gathered, rebounded there by Colleen. On to Howard. They look to get a late goal here. They can send this one into the forward line there. They've got numbers there. Gathered by Crowwood was that occasion. Charlie on to Dylan Thompson, who's run on to Biagio, and they've got Chase Burgess all on his own on that far wing. He can play on here. He takes one bounce. Sends it in long and low, looking for Hayden Gardner. He marks there right on the 50. Sends this one on its way. He's got Jed Corbett under this one. Almost takes the mark. Good pressure there by the Saints. Tries to break one tackle. And he's deemed to be caught with the ball. And it's a free kick there to Wilfred Helder. He looks to go up the ground, but it's smothered by Corbett. Into the path of Hayden Gardner. He hand passes on to Jed Corbett, dodges around one, goes for the banana kick, right kick, and it hits the post. Where's the left foot? So Riley Hill looks to bring this back in for the Saints. It's marked by Stockton. He elects to play on there. He's got plenty of pressure. There's 4 Lions chasing him here. Good pressure from Zach Tex Simons there as Boston McCree comes out to meet him. Stockman keeps it in front of him. And he's deemed to push in the back and plays on to Stockton. Umpire calling it back, Drew Simons.
Now lead for him. Good attack, Haley. Keep going.
Sends this one on its way, and it's over the head of Harper. Race for the ball there by Jack Lawrence. He gathers this one in. Hand passes back to Cooper Higgins. Comes back inside, numbers for the Lions, but the siren goes. And that's the conclusion of this match. The Lions coming out on top. 12-13-85 to 6-4-40. Was a danger game for the Lions after the Saints were victorious over the Tigers a few weeks ago, and they'll go into next week's match against the Tigers knowing that they'll have to be on their best performance to come home with the victory. That game will most likely be held here on the main ground early on Sunday morning, followed by the 17s reserves and senior game. So I think Jed Corbett's finished with 5 goals for the game. 2 to Cooper Higgins, 2 to Blair Walsh, 1 each to Chase Burgess, Boston McCree, Oscar Hattie and Zach McPherson. There was good contributors all day. Zach McPherson was prominent right through the game along with Hayden Gardner. Jed Corbett was dangerous up forward. Boston McCree was very good in the ruck. And in defence, Matt Stockton and Dylan Thompson were strong. And some of those younger boys, Charlie Crow, Chase Burgess, Ashton Fury were very good. Levi Biagio got a lot of the ball around the contest. Blair Walsh was dangerous up forward, along with Brock Harris. Sam Rankin didn't do anything wrong for the day. He was good. Tex Simons contributed, along with Cooper Graham, Cooper Hadrill, Ned Bench. So it was a good team effort from the Lions today. I imagine the coaches will be fairly happy with that, and they'll have an opportunity to look back at this vision of the game and see what they can improve on. So thanks once again to Baz and Tammy for the day, and much appreciated that allow us to video this under-15s game between Ganmain Grongong Matong and North Walker Saints.
Amazing service and carefully sourced homewares and furniture. Fisher and Farmer.
Coolaman Butchery, a great place to meet up. Yummy yum yum.
For all your AG, vet chemicals, fertilizer and bulk fuel, go to Logan and Hitchens.
Ganmain and District Sports Club, a place to celebrate and much more.
Ganmain Bakery and the famous Ganmain pies. If you can bake it, we make it.
Great pub accommodation and icy cold beers. Ganmain Hotel for good quality pub grub.
Ganmain News Agency. Open 7 days. Lotto newspapers. The list keeps going. Need some residential or commercial renovations and roofing? Call Matt at RJS Construction.